Right now, I'm going to teach you exactly how to set up a well-optimized sales funnel to help you sell your products. This is the second video in our three-part video series where I'm walking you through how to go from zero to making your first 1 million naira by selling simple digital products. In the first video, we covered how this business works and I showed you how to set up your own product. And from that video, I was able to create this ebook which we are going to use throughout this process. Now that you successfully created your product, the next thing you need is a system to help you sell and make money. And that's what we are going to focus on in this video. Then the next video will cover how to use Facebook ads to get people to discover and buy your products. But before we jump in and start putting everything together, it is very important that you even understand how a sales funnel works and why you need one if you want to be successful at selling. A sales funnel is simply the series of steps customers will follow to go from discovering your product to the point where they eventually buy from you. You can see it as a system that converts total strangers who have never heard about you or your product and turn them into paying customers. There are different types of funnels with different structures. Some are really simple with just a few steps, while others are more complex with several steps. The system you decide to use will depend on your product, your target audience, and your overall marketing strategy. But at the end of the day, a sales funnel has three primary goals. The first is to create awareness, to get people to know about what you have to offer. Then the second is to build desire. That's to get people to want to have your product, to get them to want to buy your product. And then the third goal is to generate conversions. This is where they actually bring out their money to buy your product. Since I'm just trying to sell a low ticket ebook, we are going to be working with a simple three-step funnel where we'll use social media to create awareness and get traffic, then a landing page to build desire and get leads, and then a payment page to get sales. You will also need a way to follow up and convert abandoned transactions. Let me try to explain what we actually want to do here. It is very important that you understand this part because this is basically what will decide whether your marketing will work or not. Sometimes people just create products and expect to get sales without setting this up properly. So if you want to get good results, then this is something you need to pay attention to. And like I've already mentioned, we are going to have a three-step funnel. The first step is social media. Our ads will be running on Facebook and Instagram, and we are going to try to use those ads to get people's attention, basically to let them know that we have a product that could benefit them. And the good thing with Facebook ad is you can target people based on specific interests. Let's say in my own case where I have an ebook for social media marketers, people who run ads on Facebook, I can set up my ad in a way that Facebook would deliver it to my target audience. And once we are able to get their attention and they pick interest in what we have to offer, they can basically click on the ad and that will bring them over to the landing page. And the goal of the landing page is to make them want to have your product. This is where they will get to see all the details and the benefits they will get from your product or the results your product will help them achieve. And once you're able to create enough desire in them to want to get it, they'll proceed to the payment page where they can go ahead to complete their payment, get access to the product, and you make your money. But a lot of things could actually go wrong on the payment page. So most of the people that will pass through step 1, step 2, and come over to step 3, which is the payment page, will not be able to successfully complete their payment on the first try. And that's because some people might need more time before they can make up their mind to take action, or some might need more information about your product before they can decide if they should go ahead and buy or not. While some might actually be trying to pay, but maybe they're having issues with their card or whichever payment method they are trying to use. That is why we need this follow-up and retargeting section. So all the failed transactions from the payment page, we are going to get their contact details, which we can use to reach out to them and follow up. So those who are having issues making payment, you find a way to help them with that. While those who need more information before they take action, you basically provide the information they need, try to answer their questions and all of that. And for those set of people who need more time before they finally take action, At least now you are in touch with them, and anytime they are ready to buy, they basically know where to find you. And then we are also going to use Facebook retargeting ads to make this process more effective. Usually you have less and less people moving from one step to another. So let's say if you get 100 people from Facebook ads to your landing page, maybe only around 50% of that, maybe 50 people will get to the payment page, and then on the payment page, maybe around just 10 people will complete their payment. That means you still have the other 90% of people out there who have shown interest in your product but have not taken action. So we are going to use retargeting ads to target people who go to the landing page, and then we'll use a separate retargeting ad to target people who got to the payment page but could not complete their payment. This will make your ads way more effective and help you get more returns from your investment on ads. Another reason why retargeting ads are so important is because most times people will need to see your ads over and over and over and over again before they'll make up their mind to just go ahead and buy. So I'll show you all these Facebook ad strategies in the next video. And just like we did in the previous video, if you want to see the next video on Facebook ad, just go to the comment section and type next. Just type next in the comment section, the same way I am making this video because of the massive response you guys gave in the last video. If we get enough response on this video as well, we'll proceed to make the Facebook ad video. So if you want to see the next video where we'll cover how to use Facebook ads to actually sell your product, make sure to go to the comment section and type next. Just type next in the comments. Also make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss that video whenever it drops. But right now we'll just go ahead and set up the second part of our funnel, which is the landing page. And for your landing page, you can actually use any page builder you want. There are a lot of page builders out there, and I've actually made videos about some of them on this channel. But when it comes to getting the best results, my number one choice when it comes to creating good landing pages is WordPress. I picked WordPress for two main reasons. The first is that WordPress gives you full control both in terms of design and functionality. So there's really no limit in terms of what you can do on your page using WordPress. You can make it look however you want, and there are countless sales and marketing plugins on WordPress that you can use to optimize your page to get more conversions. And then the second reason is because when it's time to start running Facebook ads to the page, with WordPress, we will get more accurate tracking, which is very important if you want to get good results from your ads. So we'll be able to accurately track different events on the page, and then we can use all of those data when retargeting and optimizing our campaign. And to set up WordPress, you are going to need a WordPress hosting and a domain name. For the hosting, we are going to use Cloudways, which is the hosting platform I always use for my website. And thankfully, Cloudways is also the sponsor of this video. Cloudways makes it really easy for you to set up your website, and it also gives you access to the best tools you need to create a fast and secure website. They have 24/7 support to help you out if you run into any issues. You can also use your Cloudways hosting to create unlimited number of websites. And the best part is you can start using Cloudways right now for free. If you check the description of this video, you are going to see my Cloudways link, and you can use that link to get a 3 days free trial, which you can use to get started and see what you can do with it. This is a good way for you to launch your business without any upfront commitment. So click on the first link below this video, and that'll bring you over here. And then you can just go ahead and click on start free trial. Here, you can proceed to sign up by entering your name, email, set a password for yourself. And what you have, how would you best describe yourself? You can just select other businesses and then an estimate of your monthly hosting spend. You can select something like $0 to $50 per month. And then this space where you have got a promo code, I'm going to leave my Cloudways promo code below this video as well. And that code will give you 20% discount for your first 3 months. So you can just enter the promo code and then check terms of service, then go ahead and click on start for free. And once you are done signing up, you can just proceed and log into your Cloudways account. Right now, I'm in my Cloudways dashboard, and to set up WordPress, you can come over to the side menu here, then click on add application. If you are using a brand new Cloudways account, you need to set up a new server. So I'm going to select add server and then click on add application. Then for the application type, just select WordPress. You can give your application a name. Let's say I'm going to use landing page as the application name, and then for the server name I'm going to use landing page server. And then here where you have select your project, I'm going to use this website project that I created before, but you can also create new projects by coming over to the side menu again and then go to my project. And then right here you can also select the cloud hosting server you want to use for your website. We are going to use DigitalOcean for this. And then for the server size, we are going to start with the most basic, which is 1 gig. Don't worry, if your website gets bigger and you start getting a lot of traffic, you can always scale it up to meet that demand. But for now, let's start with 1 gig. And then you can select your server location. I'll just use New York. And once you have all of these in place, just go ahead and click on launch now. Cloudways is going to take a few minutes to set up the server and help you launch a brand new WordPress website. My server is ready. You can see that I'll have landing page server right here. And if you come over to applications, you are going to see your brand new website right here. I can just go ahead and click on it. And this is where you'll find all the access details of your website. This is the URL, which is more like a temporary link that you can use to access your website. I'm going to show you how to get a custom domain name, but we can use this while we are still trying to put the website together. Then you can also see the admin panel URL. This is the link we are going to use to log into our WordPress admin dashboard, which is basically where we'll do all the work we need to do on our website from. Then you can also see the admin username and password. So I'll just copy the username and then come over to the login page and paste it right here. Repeat the same process for the password, copy the password, and then paste in the password field. Now I can go ahead and click on login to open my WordPress admin dashboard. So now you have a brand new WordPress website, and at this point you are ready to start putting your landing page together. So coming over here, the first thing you want to do is to come over to appearance, click on add new theme. Here just look for Astra and then install it. This is a very nice WordPress theme that will allow us to create the kind of landing page we want. So after installing, you can proceed to activate it immediately. At this point, if we take a look at our website, let me refresh, you are going to see that we have a new look. Right now, this is nothing serious, but it is actually a good place to start from. So go back to your WordPress dashboard. Let's go to post. Here, delete this default post that came with WordPress. That's the post that you can see right here, but we don't really need it. So I'm going to move to trash and then come over to plugins. Here you are going to see some pre-installed plugins, but we don't really need some of them. I'm going to remove this and this, but we are going to need Breeze and Object Cache Pro. These are plugins that came with your Cloudways hosting. They'll basically help boost the performance of your website. But we can remove this and also remove this as well. Now we are going to install 3 new plugins that will help us create a good landing page. The first plugin we are going to install is Elementor. Elementor is a powerful and easy to use page builder that we are going to use to design our page. So over here, just click on add new plugin, use this search box and search for Elementor. And you can see it right here. I'll just go ahead and install. There are some Elementor features that we might need for this process that are not available on the free plan. That's why we'll need to get an Elementor add-on. These are plugins that give you more features that are not available on the free version of Elementor. So over here, you are going to see that there are actually a lot of them, and most of them basically do the same thing. But the one I'm going to install right now is called Elements Kit. This is it. Elements Kit Elementor add-ons with over 1 million active installations. You can just go ahead and install it. One key factor when it comes to people buying online is the urgency to your offer. If people feel like they can take action anytime without any consequences, they might never take action. So buyers respond better if there is some sort of urgency, let's say like a deadline. That means if they don't buy this product now, by tomorrow the offer is gone. That is why I am going to use a countdown timer to add some kind of urgency to my call to action. And the plugin that will help us do that, there are a lot of plugins that I can use for that actually, but just search for this plugin called Hurry Timer. This is it over here. We can use it to add a nice countdown timer to the call to action on our page to help us get more conversions. So I'll just go ahead and install this. Now come over to installed plugins. These are the three plugins we just installed: Elementor, Element Kit Lite, and Hurry Timer. So select the three of them, click on bulk actions, select activate, and then click apply. So now we have the three main plugins that we need. That means it's time to actually start creating the page. So what you want to do is to come over to pages. Here first, I'm going to delete the sample page. Then we are going to create a new page that will serve as our landing page. So click on add new page. Then enter a title for your page. And for the page title, I just like to use the name of the product. And that's because by default, the title will be part of the link to this page, which is what you want in most cases. You want the name of your product to be part of the link that will bring people to the page. So what I'm going to do is to come over here and copy the title of my ebook, and then we can come over and paste it right here. Then we can just go ahead and click publish. Now, if I click on view page, let me open it in a new tab. This is the page we just created. And if you look at the address bar, you're going to see that I have the title of my ebook as part of the URL. So whenever you add your custom domain name to your website, you're going to have the domain name and then the title of your product as the link. So let's say if I'm using emmanueladanu.com as my domain name, that means the link to this landing page will be emmanueladanu.com/the business of advertising. So that is something that will be really easy to remember. Then let's go back to the page editor again. And here on the sidebar, just look for the template option. And we want to change the template from default template to Elementor full width. Now click on save. And then if we refresh the page, you're going to see that the title of the page is no longer on the page because we really don't need to have the title showing right here. So let's go back to the page editor again. And now we are going to open Elementor, which is where we are going to do most of the things we need to do on this page. So at the top here, you're going to see this edit with Elementor button. Click on it. If you've never worked with Elementor before, don't worry, it is actually very, very simple. Over here, you can see different widgets that you can add to your page. If you want to add a heading text, you use the heading widget. If you want to add an image, you use the image widget. And all of this works by drag and drop. If you want to add any element to your page, you can basically drag it to the section where you would like to place it. And the good thing is, whatever you do here, you will see it the way it will actually look like on your website. So it is more like you just moving things around on the page till you get exactly what you want. Maybe at this point, you are probably thinking, what is the right content to put on your landing page in order to get the best results? So I have a landing page format here that I always use whenever I want to sell digital products. And this is a fairly simple landing page structure that works every time, regardless of the product or the niche. So at the top of the page, you have a big statement. Then you have a media file, either a picture or a video. Then you start to address the customer's problem. You share your story and how you're able to solve this problem and why you created this product, the benefits customers will get from the product. And at this point, you can chip in your first call to action, maybe add testimonials and include a call to action again. And if you have a guarantee for your product, you might want to bring it here and then maybe chip in your third call to action. And additionally, you can add a frequently asked questions section under call to action. Then you can also include a brief description of yourself. And then we are going to have a disclaimer, which is very important if you are running ads on Facebook. So following this outline, I have the content of my page. And to make it easier for you, I'm going to share the link to this document in the description below. So you can get this and probably use it as a template to come up with the content of your own landing page. Or you can even feed it to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to use this format to write the landing page content for your own product. But basically, you can see that here we have the big statement and then the customer's problem. Then I shared my story. And if we scroll down, I think the next will be benefits. So these are the benefits readers will get from this book. And then I also have some bonuses and the first call to action. Then we have some testimonials right here. This is very important. Having reviews from customers who have used your product really helps with conversion rate. Then we have the money back guarantee and the frequently asked questions section. You can decide not to include frequently asked questions, but having this here just reduce the number of questions you have to answer through DMs and all of that. Then I'm going to have an about me section and this disclaimer. If you are running ads either on Facebook or Google, you usually want to have a disclaimer like this so that you don't run into any policy issues. And then right here, I have the colors and the fonts I'll be using on the page. So since I have all the content I'm going to need, we can just come over here and start putting everything together. The first thing I'm going to do is to add the first section. That's the big statement section. So to create a new section in Elementor, you can either click on this plus icon, then select Flexbox, and then you can select the structure you want to use for that section. I'm going to pick this. Another way to go about it is to just drag in a widget and it will create a section for you automatically. But I'm going to follow the step-by-step process because here you basically have the option to select different structures for that section. But I'm going to use this single column section and then come over to add element. Just click on this plus icon, drag in the first heading, and I'll copy this line, paste it right here. Then I'm going to change the HTML tag from H2 to H4 because I want this line to be smaller than the main statement we are going to have in this section. Then I'll go to style. Each element that you work with on Elementor will have these three tabs on the editor. The content tab, where you can customize the content of the element. Then the style tab, which is where you get to customize the styling. Then under the advanced tab, you get more options like margin, padding, and this is also where you can do some really cool stuff like animations, motion effects, and all of that. So let's go over to style. And here I'm going to change the alignment to center so that I'll have the text at the center of the page. Then I will change the text color to red. I actually have a particular shade of red that I want to use. So if you come over here where I have the colors and the fonts, this is the hex value for the shade of red I want to use. I can just copy this and come over, paste it right here. And if you open typography, this is where you get more options when working with text elements. So I can change the font family to Arial, which is the font I want to use throughout this page. Then I can also adjust the font size. Maybe I'll use something like 22 pixels. Font weight, I'll keep it at 600. Then with transform, you can change your text to uppercase, lowercase, whichever option you want. Then for the style, I'm going to italicize this particular line. And for decoration, I'm going to underline it. And you also have more options, like you can adjust the line height, the letter spacing if you want to add more space between each letter, and you also have word spacing. But I think I like the way this looks. So we are going to move on to the next heading in this section. Come over to add element, drag the second heading. So go over, copy the big statement, and we can paste it here. And I'll go to style, change alignment to center. For the text color, I'll just copy the color value, just get this, and apply it as the text color. Then if I go to typography, I'll set my font, the font size. I'm going to change it to maybe 55 pixels. Then I'll transform to uppercase, come over to line height, and just try to reduce the line height a little bit. Maybe I think 55 will do. And this is looking good to me. Let's go ahead, publish to save. And we can come over to our page, refresh. And this is what we have so far. And I'm going to add a little bit of space between this section and the top of the page. They look too close. So come over, select the section, go to advanced, and just add some top margin. But you'll notice that as I'm increasing the top margin, it is also affecting the other sides, which is not exactly what we want to do in this case. I'm going to unlink the margin values. So just click on this link icon. And now I can easily increase one side margin without affecting all the other sides. So I'll place the top margin at maybe 30 pixels, and we can publish to save. If I come over, just refresh, this is looking better. For the next section, we are going to have media. And here I'm going to use a 3D mockup of my book cover. Remember, we designed this cover with Canva, and I can also create a 3D mockup of this cover right here on Canva. Or if you want to use a completely free method to do that, you can just go to this website called DIYbookcovers.com and create a mockup for your book cover. But I'm going to do everything right here on Canva. So I'll come over to apps, then go to mockups, then print, and I'll select books. Here you'll find different formats, but I'll just work with this. Click select, then upload my book cover, then click next. Maybe I'll just adjust the image a little bit. Click save, and then just go ahead and download it. Now we can go back to Elementor, then add a new section, go to elements, and then drag in the image widget. Click on choose image and upload the mockup I just created. Then click select. This is actually too big, so I'll come over to style, then adjust the width so that I'll have something way smaller. I think 30% will do, and I can just go ahead and save this. Also add some margin between this media section and the heading section. So come over to advanced and add a top margin of 30 pixels. If you want to use a video for this section instead of just a picture, you can also convert to elements. You can see the video widget that you can use to add videos to your page, and then you can just upload the video maybe to YouTube and then embed the link right here. But I'll just work with a picture, and I think that'll be fine for me. After media, the next section is customers' problem, your story, and the benefits they'll get from the product. So I'm going to start by copying the customer's problem, then come back to Elementor, create a new section, then go to add elements, bring in the text editor, then paste my text, and we can come over to style and just change the color. Also change the font, adjust the font size, maybe come over to content again. You can see that there is too much space between each line. So maybe we can fix that. At this point, let me mention that it is very important that your page looks good on smartphones and tablets, not just on desktop, because most people will actually be visiting your page from their phones. So you want to check and make sure that everything looks good and is also usable on smaller screens. And the good thing is Elementor makes it really easy for you to make your page responsive. At the top here, you are going to see that we have three different modes: desktop mode, tablet mode, and then mobile mode. And on each of these view, you'll be able to see what your page will look like on tablets and then on smartphones. And what you want to do, you want to check each view and try to adjust where necessary. Like you can already see that on phone, this heading text is way too big. So I can just select it, come over to style, and adjust the font size. Also, by the font size, you notice that the icon has changed from desktop to mobile. So I can just reduce the font size a little bit to maybe 28 pixels. I will also adjust the line height. It can be smaller, I think 1.8 or maybe 1.5 will do. Then maybe make this image a little bit bigger and reduce the space between these two sections. So this way I have a page that looks good on big screens and also on smaller screens as well. And I can basically just follow this same process and bring in the next two sections, which is your story and the benefits customers will get from the product. Okay guys, so I have all of this in place, including the benefits and the bonuses. You could even go a step further. Let's say if I want to change the background color of the benefits section, I can just select it, then go to style. And for the background type, you have multiple options, maybe classic, gradient, video, or slideshow. I'm going to use the classic option. Then select the color you would like to use. And I can also go to advanced and just add some top and bottom padding. So unlink the values, add top padding of maybe 20 pixels and then bottom padding of 20 pixels as well. This will make the page a little bit more colorful. Instead of using white as the background color throughout the page, we can just have some sections with this color. And at this point, we are ready to bring in the first call to action. So I'll create a new section. Then for the first call to action, we are going to have this heading text and the order now button, then the countdown timer. So I'll copy the heading, come over here, add a heading widget, paste the text, and we can go to style, change the alignment to center, change the color, also adjust the typography. Then I'll go to advanced. Here I'm going to change the width. So let's say maybe we'll use something like 50% and align to center. The next step is to bring in the order now button. So I'll come over to add element, look for the button widget, drag it into this section. And for the text, I'm going to use order now. And then for the link, you want to add the URL to your product. That's where people can get to pay and get access to your product. And for that, I'll just get the seller link to my ebook. Just copy this and then place it in the link field. And let's say if I just save this, let's come over to the page, refresh, and I can just click on this button and you see that it redirects to seller where customers can go ahead, complete payment, and buy this product. We can style this button by coming over to style, position, I'm going to select center. For the typography, I'll change the font, adjust the font size, I think 25 pixels will do. The font weight, I'm going to use 600. Transform to uppercase. I'll also change the background color of the button. So click here, enter my color, remove the shadow, and you can also adjust the border radius, add box shadow, and all of that. But for now, I'll just go ahead and save this. I need to add a little bit of space between the button and this heading. So maybe select the heading, come over to margin, and then increase the bottom margin to like 20 pixels. Also add some margin to the top of this section. Come over to advanced, unlink the values, and add a top margin of 30 pixels. I'll also add some padding at the top and the bottom. Now, one very interesting thing you can do with Elementor is that you can copy styling from one element to another. So for instance, I want to use the same background color I have for this section on the call to action section. So I can just come over here, right click. You see a number of options. You can duplicate, you can copy, you can paste style, but I'll just copy, then go to the section we are currently working on, right click again, then click on paste style. And you can also see the shortcut for all these different sections. So being able to copy style from one element to another will make your work way more easier so that you don't keep repeating the same process over and over again. Now, after the button, the next thing we need to bring here is the countdown timer. And before we add the timer to the page, we need to first create the timer with the Hurry Timer plugin that we installed earlier. So go back to your WordPress dashboard. I'll come over here, click on dashboard. Then on your admin menu, you are going to see the Hurry Timer option. Click on it. Then add campaign. You can give your campaign a name. Let me use Ebook timer. For the mode, I'm going to use evergreen. And when do you want the timer to end? I want it to end after 23 hours and 59 minutes. That's like 1 day. Detection methods, I'll just use the default values of cookie and IP address. And what will happen when the timer expires? This is where you can get set that up. Do you want the timer to restart immediately or at the next visit or at a specific time? You can choose the option that you prefer, but I'll just use restart immediately. Then come over to appearance. Here I'll go to timer digits. I'll change the color to red, and I'll also do the same for the timer label. Change the color to red, and I'll go to the headline. Just remove the headline, and once you have this the way you like it, you can just go ahead and publish. And over here you can see the shortcode that you use to display this timer on your page. Any section where you would like to display a timer, you just need to add this shortcode. Let's go back to Elementor. First, I'll bring in like a heading, get this text, this special discount will expire very soon. Just copy and add it here. Then I'm going to style it just a little bit. So this is looking good. Then I'll go to add element again. Let me bring in a container. So drag in the container widget, then search for shortcode. Place the shortcode inside the container. Then we can copy the shortcode for the timer we created, paste it right here. Now, if I publish, come over to the page and just refresh, you are going to see that we have this nice call to action area with the countdown timer. But I want to remove this heading from the timer. Come over to appearance, go to headline, and then just disable it. Now let me click update, and let's refresh and see if that worked. Okay, this is looking good, but I'll just add a little bit of padding between the top of the section and the call to action text. So let's come over here, select the section, and increase the top padding. Let's see what 50 pixels will look like. save, and then come over, just refresh. Okay, I think this is looking better. I can even go further and add some kind of border on this container. So if I come over to style, click on border and change the border type to solid, use red for the border color, and just increase the border width. Let's see, I think maybe 3 pixels. Also increase the border radius. Let's keep it at 10 pixels. Let's see what that will look like. So save this, come over, refresh. The border is actually looking good, but I will need to reduce the width of the container. So coming over here, go to layout, and I can just reduce the width to maybe 50%, and then go to the advanced tab, align serve to center, and if I save this, let's go ahead, refresh. Okay, this looks better, but let's just add a little bit of top margin just to add some space. I'll come over here, increase the top margin to maybe 20 pixels, repeat the same for this as well, maybe increase it to 30 pixels. So far, this is what we have on this page, and at this point you basically know how to work with most of the elements you need to create your page. You know how to work with headings, you know how to work with text, buttons, images, videos. You also know how to add a countdown timer to your call to action to create urgency. And with all of that knowledge, you can just go ahead and complete your landing page. So at the end of the day, this is what I have for my landing page. And you can see that we have all the different sections that we planned earlier. Here is the call to action, the testimonials, the guarantee. We also have the frequently asked questions right here about the author. And now the only thing left is to connect my domain name to this page, because you don't want to use this default URL for your landing page. Ideally, you want to use a custom domain name for a proper business. But before we go ahead and do that, let's just fix the header and the footer of this page, because right now you can see that the header is not looking good, and we can also work on the footer. So to customize the header and the footer of your website, you can just click on this customize button at the top, and that will bring you over to the theme customizer. And here what you can do is to come over to header builder, then select site title, and I'm going to upload the logo I want to use on this website. So I basically made this simple logo with Canva, which is just the initials of the book title, the business of advertising. So I'll come over to the theme customizer again, upload the logo, then click select. I'll skip cropping, reduce the logo width so that I'll have something smaller, maybe 180 pixels. I think that will do. Then I'm going to disable the site title. That's this long text that I'll have right here. So just come over to site title visibility and then disable all the options that we have. But I'll also change the site title to the name of my book just for the purpose of SEO. I'll also reduce the logo width a little bit further. I think place it at 150 pixels. Now you can just click publish to save your changes. Then I'll go to site icon and I'll just use the same logo as the site icon. Click select, then publish. So you can see the logo showing up on the browser tab. Now go back to the header builder. You'll notice that we have this option down here with the different widgets that you have on the header. And from here, I'll just remove the primary menu and that will take out this menu option that I'll have. So just take this out and then drag the site logo to the middle. That logo will be at the center of the page. This looks better to me. Now I'll just publish. And with that, we are done with the header. So let's go to the footer, come over here, click on footer builder, and click on the copyright option. You have your copyright text right here. So I'll just remove this powered by section. At this point, this is where we get to add the disclaimer for this page. And we are going to use this layer on top of the copyright layer. So click on this gear icon, change the column to 1. Then if you click on the layer, you'll be able to select the widget you want to add. So I'm going to use the HTML1 widget, select it, and then just paste my disclaimer text. I'll just copy that from here and come over and paste. You can use all these options to customize your text. So just make this bold, underline it, and then align center. You can also come over to design. This is where you can change the text color, the link color, and you can also customize the font size from here. But let me just save this and close the theme customizer so that we can see what this page actually looks like right now. This is what the header looks like, and then this is the footer with the disclaimer and the copyright text. Basically everything is looking good on this page. Now for the domain name, I'm going to use Namecheap, but you can get your domain name from any platform of your choice. This is my domain name over here on Namecheap. And once you have your domain name, you want to look for the host records. So I'll click on manage, go to advanced DNS, and these are the host records for my domain. I'm going to delete what is here currently. Now go to your Cloudways account, click on domain management, and then click add domain. Here you want to add your own custom domain. So I'm going to copy my domain name, paste it right here, and then click on save changes. You want to also set this domain as your primary domain. So click on this three dots menu and then select make primary, set as primary. And after that, let's go to access details. Here you will find the public IP address of your website. Just copy it, go back to Namecheap, and then click on add new record. Select a record for the type, and then for the host, just enter @ and for the value, paste the public IP address of your website, and then click on this check mark to save. This is going to take a few minutes to start working, but once you have everything set up properly, you should be able to start visiting your page from this domain. Another thing you should do is to activate SSL certificate for this website. So go back to your Cloudways account, then go to SSL certificate, enter your email address and your domain name, then click on install certificate. And right now, if I go to emmanuel.adanu.xyz/the business of advertising, you'll see that it will bring me over to my landing page. And let's say if somebody wants to buy this ebook, they can just go ahead and click on order now, and that will take them over to the payment page on Seller, where they can complete the payment and get access to the book. So you want to keep this link somewhere. So I'll just copy this and probably just paste it right here. So when we start running ads, this is the link we are going to use on the ad to bring traffic to our landing page. And when they see all these details and they would like to buy the product, they'll just need to click on the order now button and they can easily get that. At this point, there is just one more thing we need to fix before we start running ads. So if I copy my domain name again and I open a new tab, try to visit this address, you are going to see that the home page of this website is empty. Remember, we have just a single page on this site, and that is this landing page. But at the same time, we don't want the home page to be empty. So what I'm going to do right now is to also set this landing page as the home page for this website. So just go to the theme customizer again, click on home page settings. Here, select the static page option, and then I'm going to select my landing page. That's the business of advertising. Remember, this is the title of the landing page. That will basically set this landing page as the home page of this website. So I'm going to save this. Now let me try to visit the URL again to see what is going to happen. All right, so you can see that this also brings people over to the landing page, and at this point this landing page is fully ready to start receiving traffic and converting them into customers. So in the next video we are going to cover the Facebook ad strategies you can use to start getting people over to this page who will buy your product. So that's the final piece of the puzzle you need to get your business up and running. Once again, if you want to see that Facebook ad video, make sure to go to the comment section and type next. And if you are watching this video at a later time when that video is already out, you'll find the links to both the first video and the next Facebook ad video below this video, so you can just check the description for that. But that's basically it for this one, guys. And if you have any questions, you can just let me know in the comments. Let's have a chat in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.